Dick here with today's LifeApp. So glad you've joined us here, and I hope you've been enjoying these. We are posting them regularly, and we sure love it when you come and visit us on a regular basis. Behind me are the Kootenays, you know, the beautiful valley, the Columbia Kootenay Valley in southeastern British Columbia. Thanks again to our good friends Rick and Lisa Steckley, who have opened their home. We're right here on their deck with this beautiful view. Isn't that great? This is looking north. Hey, by the way, let your friends know about the segments here and about dickandjoan.com. Lots of live events, lots of our great prophetic friends like Len Zodeman, Prophet Z, we call him, Bill Prankard, others who are joining us, Fatine, of course, and the House of Prayer in Ottawa. Just glad to be able to put us together here on this website, dickandjoan.com. I want to talk today about what hinders your dream. You know, everybody should have a vision or a dream, and it says in Proverbs 29, verse 18, it says this, "Where there is no vision, the people perish." This is a well-quoted piece of scripture, partly because it is inscribed on the west face of the Peace Tower in Ottawa, right in our Parliament building. It's actually inspiring to go there because you can read scriptures on all three faces, one west, one east, one south, and this one faces west. Proverbs 29:18. It also says in some versions of the scripture where there's no prophetic revelation. Those are kind of interchangeable words, prophetic revelation, vision. And I want to read a quote here. "Vision is the world's most desperate need. There are no hopeless situations, only people who think hopelessly." This is by Winifred Newman. You know, Helen Keller is once ascribed by saying that the greatest tragedy is not being blind, but the inability to have vision or to see a vision. She was a blind, deaf, dumb person, as you know, the famous story of Helen Keller. Yet she was a woman of great vision. And she said that's the greatest tragedy, is not having vision. There are people who have no vision. You probably have met them. They wander aimlessly. Here in the scripture it says the people perish, but in other places it says the people cast off restraint. That isn't really to be interpreted negatively. What it means is that they're wandering. They're just not going in any particular direction. They just go from here to there. You know, you've heard the TGIF, thank God it's Friday. There are some people that just work for the weekend. There's got to be a greater purpose than life. Here's the things that can destroy your dream. Things like limitations on yourself. Do you know that we're the ones who limit ourselves more than anyone else? And often that's a condition that was produced through our upbringing. I want you to really challenge the things that you were taught in your childhood. You know that we learn about 80% of what we are by age 7? I mean, our personality and whatever else has been formed by that time. Well, yeah, I got to tell you, then we've got to do some undoing if that's the way. Then there's this other thing that really limits our vision, and that is to think in rigid terms. That is that we don't allow the ideas of change to enter our lives. Change is not something that we particularly like as humans. You know, I always say, and I've said it before in this LifeApp, where the only people that like change are babies who have dirty diapers. And the rest of us aren't really comfortable with change. We like everything the same. We buy the same kind of car, you know. This is a great quote. "I would rather fail in a cause I knew someday will triumph than win in a cause that I knew someday will fail." That was Woodrow Wilson, former President of the United States. Great quote, right? Listen, he's saying, I'd rather fail in a vision that's going to succeed than succeed in a vision that will fail. That's an interesting statement, isn't it? And you know, something else that we need to get past is tradition. There's so much tradition in Christianity. Oh, it's just pervasive. It's time to change. You know, even Joan and Dick, what are we doing? We're doing a website. We're broadcasting. We could have looked back at our history and said, oh, we pioneered national television and national network. We got to do that again. You know, God has new doors and new venues. That doesn't mean we won't be in television, but let's be open to change. It'll help the dream come to pass. Today's LifeApp, keep the vision in front of you and let it breathe life into you.